The moment I stepped into the dimly lit antique shop, an unsettling feeling washed over me. The air was heavy, thick with an otherworldly aura that seemed to cling to every corner. My eyes scanned the shelves lined with curious artifacts from a bygone era. But one object in particular caught my attention, an ornate gilded mirror that seemed to radiate an eerie energy. The mirror's surface was pristine, untouched by time, yet there was something about it that drew me in. It was as though the glass held secrets, whispered promises of hidden truths. The shopkeeper, a stooped figure with a knowing smile, noticed my interest. "Ah, you have a keen eye," he croaked. "That mirror is a special piece indeed, passed down through generations. Some say it's cursed, others claim it's a gateway to another realm." Despite his words, or perhaps because of them, I found myself unable to resist. I purchased the mirror and carried it home, feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation. As I hung it on the wall of my bedroom, the room seemed to darken, the atmosphere shifting in a way that sent shivers down my spine. That night, as I lay in bed, I found it impossible to ignore the mirror's presence. Moonlight filtered through the curtains, casting an eerie glow across its surface. I stared into the glass, my own reflection staring back at me, and for a moment, I thought I saw a flicker of movement behind me. My heart raced as I turned around, but there was nothing there. Chalking it up to my overactive imagination, I closed my eyes and tried to sleep. Yet a persistent feeling of being watched gnawed at the edges of my consciousness. I tossed and turned, the minutes ticking by slowly. Just as I began to drift into an uneasy slumber, a whisper brushed against my ear, chilling me to the bone. "Help me." My eyes shot open, scanning the room frantically. The voice had been soft, barely audible, but there was an undeniable urgency in its tone. I looked to the mirror, my breath catching in my throat as I saw my reflection, or rather, a distortion of it. The edges of my image seemed to ripple, as if a stone had been dropped into a calm pond. Fear knotted in my stomach as I reached out a trembling hand, hesitating before touching the mirror's surface. The glass was cool to the touch, sending a shiver down my spine. As my fingers made contact, the room seemed to shift around me. I gasped as the world around me dissolved, replaced by a scene that was both hauntingly familiar. I stood in a dimly lit room, the air heavy with the scent of decay. Dust-covered furniture lay in disarray, and the walls were adorned with faded portraits. It was then that I realized I was not alone. A figure stood in the corner, obscured by shadows. My heart raced as I took a cautious step forward. "Who are you?" I stammered, my voice barely above a whisper. The figure turned, revealing hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through my very soul. Its lips curled into a semblance of a smile, but there was nothing joyful about it. "I am trapped," it whispered, its voice echoing with a haunting resonance. "Trapped between worlds, lost in the depths of this accursed mirror." A chill ran down my spine as I realized the truth. The mirror was a prison, a gateway that had ensnared this tormented spirit. It reached out a spectral hand, fingers curling in a silent plea. "Help me break free and I shall grant you a boon," it rasped. The room began to blur around me, the figure fading back into the shadows. Before I could respond, I was jolted awake, back in my own room, bathed in the soft light of dawn. My heart pounded in my chest as I processed the surreal experience, wondering if it had all been a dream. Days turned into weeks, and I couldn't shake the memory of that encounter. The mirror seemed to hold an irresistible allure, and each time I gazed into its depths, I felt a connection, a pull toward that otherworldly realm. The spirit's plea echoed in my mind, tempting me with promises of unimaginable power. But the more I considered the offer, the more I realized the darkness that lay beneath. The spirit's words were laced with desperation, a hunger for freedom that bordered on madness. I knew that to release it would unleash an unspeakable horror upon the world. With a heavy heart, I made my decision. I removed the mirror from my wall, carefully wrapping it and sealing it away in the attic, far from prying eyes. As I did, I felt a sense of relief wash over me, as though a weight had been lifted. Yet, even now, I can't shake the feeling that the mirror's influence lingers, its malevolent presence waiting for an opportunity to escape. And sometimes, in the quiet of the night, I swear I hear a whisper on the wind, a chilling reminder of the dark secrets that lie within its glass.
Thanks Thanks for watching our video. We hope you liked it a lot. Please share with your friends and family and subscribe to our channel. Happy listening.